Okay, so we're backed in here pretty close to the other stack. This isn't going all the way up, so when we set this down, those top few bales will probably come off, but that's okay. Once we get this established, the next one we set in will be nice, tall, uniform, be a good backstop. So usually the first load, don't worry about it if a bale or two falls off. So the main thing we want to do whenever you're stacking, you want to make sure your stack yard is nice and level, of course. And if it has an uphill slope, the direction the tractor or the machine's going to push off, that's the best you can have. Not much, just a little, but if it's level, that's good. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull ahead a little ways. We're going to slowly let the stack down, and it'll come down with the weight on its own about 90 degrees. And then once we get it where we want it, we'll just go ahead and keep pulling the control, and it'll hydraulically push itself over center, about like that. And that's the lean we want to have the stack have once we're done. So once we've pushed off, it should have the same lean that the machine does. And that'll keep the bales from falling down on the machine and everything. So the way you establish that lean is the distance you pull ahead. So if you need more lean away from you, you pull ahead farther. You need less lean because it's too far back, you want to correct it forward, just back up flush and basically set it down. It's just kind of all trial and error. So we're going to pull ahead a little bit, set it down slowly, and hopefully it'll work. Okay, so now we got the stack set down. We're going to go ahead and push off. Put the tractor in neutral. Don't ever hit the brake. Don't ever really try to help it out. We're just going to use the push-off feet alone. So it's all the way over center. You hear it loading the pump. So now we're going to start out with push-off feet. I like to push off about a foot from the load, and then retract the feet and see the stack settle. I like doing that a whole lot closer to the bed than out 10 feet. So now we'll go ahead and keep pushing off all the way. Okay, so here we got our load set down. It's our first load. Don't worry about losing bales off the back. The thing you want to focus on is getting the front of the space uniform and nice, which it is. That's mainly because we put in our ties. These ties help hold that stack together. At this point, we're going to continue pushing off all the way. Like I said, we push off about a foot. I like to retract the feet, and you'll see that stack settle. It's a lot easier to have it settle here and try to tip forward where you can fix it instead of all the way out, pushed off. This comes and falls on the machine. At this point, if you want to use stack pulls, I usually like to put them in at the tie bales. You can do one on each side. That way when you bring the next load in, you can set it in, come back, grab your pulls, put them to the next, and just keep working. If you're stacking in a wide barn or you want to put 2 or 3 stacks side by side, usually start at the left, put in a stack. Then you can come in with the machine, the bed raised like it was, put that hay right in tight, and do the next one, and then come back to the front of the first one. If you get in here and go 2 or 3 stacks out and then try to back in, you're going to foul up your side racks on the hay, and you'll have to have a gap between the stacks. So anyway, this looks pretty good. We've got a nice lean, looks pretty uniform, looks like it's the machine and the face of the hay stack is good. So we're going to just keep on pushing off, and I think we'll be good for the next load. So once you get all the way out with your push-off feet, especially if you have the 14 by 18 bales and bale extensions, sometimes the tines will be under the bales. So go ahead and pull forward before you bring the load rack down and the push-off feet in. Otherwise, you can pull that front bale out at the top of the stack. Anyway, I like to pull out a little ways. Remember to retract your push-off feet. Lower the load rack. Now you can reset your sliding load rack, which in this case is automatic with the hydraulic cylinder. Now we're ready to go pick up the next load.